So now I'm going to take a moment to discuss trigger control and trigger manipulation. Now, depending on the distance of the target, it's going to determine how fast or accelerated we're going to pull through the trigger, as opposed to maybe a little bit more control. And essentially, that's going to be based on the shooter's skill level and, again, the size or distance of the target. The initial one, for any target that's up close, the first thing we want to do for any shot is to do what we call a trigger prep. So we want to take up any initial slack that's in the trigger before we get to the point where the firearm's about to shoot. At this point, what we want to do is just get a good press straight to the rear, not worrying too much about the speed of it. As long as we can pull the trigger straight to the rear without disturbing the gun, then we're going to get a good shot. As opposed to if the target's a little bit further away, the only thing that really changes, we still want to prep the trigger correctly, but at this point, we're just going to take a little bit, again, extra time, just the same as between the double tap and control pair. We're taking just a little bit more time to make sure the sights are a little bit better and then our trigger is just a little bit more perfect to break that shot. So let me show you the difference between a couple that are going to be more accelerated trigger pulls versus a controlled trigger pull. Those are the accelerated trigger pulls. Through the recoil, I get the reset of the trigger, back up, I take up the slack, and then as soon as my sights are on target, I proceed to shoot. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's a little bit more controlled. As you can see there, all I did was I took a little bit more time to make sure that my sights were aligned, and then a little bit more time to ensure that I pulled the trigger correctly to the rear in order to get some good shots downrange. So that's going to be the biggest difference between close targets, far targets, or big targets and small targets.